You guys know the drill. Oh, it's nice to get out. Side of the Cape, or Cape Lip Trap sort of thing. So yeah, we're just down out of the wind a little bit, which is quite nice. Yeah, but this is Walkerville North. Funny enough, Walkerville North and Walkerville South are only separated by 100 metres, but by road it's about 10 k's, I think. Not sure, but it's a fair way. Guys, Steve from Dirt Bike ADV, just out on a Sunday ride. Thought I'd sort of come out and just clear the head a little bit, but while I was out I thought I might just have a bit of a wrap up, I guess you'd say, on the 480 480 for an ADV bike. I don't know if you've watched the other two videos. I've certainly done an initial review and then took it to the next level. And yeah, I've since done a couple of little changes, but essentially I think I've pretty well got it right. Excuse the condition of it, it's a little bit dirty at the moment. I've just been away on a couple of day rides, so it's a bit filthy. But do big bore 4-strokes make good ADV bikes? The answer is yes, but they are a little bit limited. I'm going to stick to what I said in my original review, well, before I had the fairing on it, and before I'd changed the gearing and that sort of stuff. They are limited. I still agree with what I said. They're not necessarily the sort of bike that you're going to jump on and ride to Alice Springs and go up to Darwin and across to Cairns and back home again. They'll do it, but you'd need several oil changes, and probably by the time you got back nearly a rebuild. This has done 10,000, 11,000 Ks. It's still going beautiful, starts beautiful. Because you're only idling along a lot of the time, I think that the rebuilds can be dragged out, but certainly it is an enduro bike and it is a race bike, so they're a high compression short stroking motor. But other than that, this is the final setup. I'm certainly not at the point where I'm going to spend any more money on it. I'm very happy where it is. I'm not sure that there's anything more you can do to it, but just to go over it, it's a great bike, and it's a bike that's a very good option for local ADV work. So not necessarily interstate work, but you know, within 300, 400, 500 kilometres of home. But you sort of start getting further in that, and you want to put it on a trailer and just drag it up there. But nonetheless, a very good option as an ADV bike, and in fact a nice light ADV bike. So what have I done to it? Okay, we'll start on this side. Obviously I like a rack, I've talked about that before. Simple little rack just to help tie things on. Again, I'm travelling pretty light, just a little single man tent, a little bit of cooking gear, not much food, not many clothes. This is just sort of designed for 3-4 nighters, maybe an overnighter, and if you're travelling for longer, then you'd probably want a stronger setup on the back. The subframes aren't designed to carry a lot of weight, so I deliberately keep it nice and light. We've got a seat, concept seat, which was bloody awful out of the box, so I got top line Mario top line to make that a bit softer, a bit plusher. That's beautiful. 15 litre tank up there, IMS tank. That's, you know, it gives me a good 300 kilometre range, not quite 300. Usually, as I've said before, I tie a couple of bottles on the on my panniers, and that will easily get me 300 kilometres range. I've got the Nomad tower up the front. That has worked out very well. That keeps the wind off me. I'm a 6-footer. That's worked out really well. I've set it up with just tying the tube and some tyre levers on there. The pump's missing. I was pumping up the tyre earlier. First aid kit there and a quad lock. That's basically it as the bike sinks into the sand. So yeah, the Nomad tower, as I said, I've tied on my tubes and levers and first aid kit up there. Usually there's a pump there, and my bits and bobs sit up in there. I haven't got them in there at the moment. I'm only doing a day trip. I recently pulled the tower off, made a few adjustments. One of the things I did, The Beta 480s and a lot of this vintage of bike produce their electricity in AC, and they run their ECU and their headlight off AC and the rest of the bike off DC. So I actually connected both lights straight to the battery just to solve that problem in the short term, just to see how I go with the Nomad Tower. I've since decided it's a very good option, and I've put a rectifier and a capacitor in, and so what I do is I run one light directly off the battery, just so whenever you want to pull up in camp, I can turn a light on, set my tent up, and hopefully, you know, do a bit of stuff before I flatten the battery. But I just want it that way so I can pull up. They're not like a normal conventional bike, they don't have an ignition. So I can just turn that off. The bottom light is connected up and is part of the normal ignition system. Just watching these waves here, hoping they don't wash me out. So yeah, I finished all that up, so I'm happy with the setup of that. I've got the click and ride indicators, and really that's it. It's a stock bike, guys. Stock levers. Oh, sorry, the VPS handguards. Stock bike, stock wheels, stock. It's just the Dunlop 606s. They're really good. I like them. I've put a Q4, just a quieter exhaust on it. But yeah, stock levers, stock tyres, stock wheels. It's basically a very stock bike. That's the stock tailpiece. I've just put a different LED up in there so it shines on the number plate, and there's a brake light at the same time. So yeah, that's basically it. As I say, a fairly stock bike. I guess so you could put the Fastway billet stand on there. You could add those to the modifications, but essentially it's a stock bike. Things to consider. When I said 1988, I had a Tenere 600, big, heavy, tall bike, 23 litres of juice up high. Things to consider are that these are still a reasonably top-heavy bike. This is a 15 model. It's a carby model. It's still a reasonably top-heavy bike. When you get into tight technical stuff, there's 15 litres of juice up the top there. It's still a reasonably tall bike and a bit of a handful. That's probably something worth considering. You get a lot of the ADV bikes, and they've got a much lower centre of gravity, and of course as time goes on they get better at building bikes. The KTM 690 in particular, they have their seat, the AJP, they have the fuel tank underneath the seat, so they've got their centre of gravity a lot lower. So yeah, it is still a little bit of a tall bike, it's still a bit of a handful. Once you get on the open road, that all doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, it's a very good bike and a very good option. But I think probably at this stage I'm looking to get what I'm calling an interstate bike. And if you watched a which brand, which bike review, I think you'll work out that it's probably going to be a 690 at this stage. So I'm in the market for an AD model, traction control model. So yeah, there we go. That's the Beta 480, guys. Thanks for listening. Starting to get a little bit late in the afternoon, so I'll probably head home via maybe a coffee shop again, but certainly always good to get out in a beautiful part of the world. Thanks guys, hope to see you out on the trail soon. Here we have an echidna. He's just cruising along on the side of the road. You seen me? Now he's dug down. It is amazing when you get these things like that. I just want this guy to move on, get off the road. He's digging down now, so I'll step back and just get him to scurry on. But when they dig down like that, I've tried to pull them off the tar, couldn't pull them off the tar, they just dig in with their claws. Yep, that's it, keep going mate. You can see his little snout there. You keep going buddy. Keep going. Get off the road. Yeah, I just don't want him to wander out on the road and get squished diddly-dooed.